Arnie, did you ever reconcile the what seems to be quite troubled relationship that you had with both your parents, and also you had the extra tragedy of your brother being killed, who was also, I think, a big drinker, being killed in a car crash? So, when you said you wanted to get out of there, were you getting away from Austria? Were you getting away from your parents? And did you ever feel that you reconciled it?
First of all, you're absolutely right. I was trying to get away from everything. I just wanted to leave, and I wanted to create my own life. So I was extremely happy when I started meeting all these other guys with the age of 15 that went to weightlifting and bodybuilding, and I started to adopt that new life. And I felt this was really great because my parents were not into that. So this was my own. I felt like I had just started my own thing that was not my parents' idea. It was not something that my father said I should do or my mother said I should do and all that stuff. So I felt really proud of myself and I felt great. And I had kind of a new life, I felt, and it motivated me. And then when I went to America and I became very successful in bodybuilding and then in show business and everything, when I look back at that now, I say to myself, I'm so glad that I had this kind of upbringing, because it's the very thing that drove me, that gave me the fire in the belly, that created all these visions and that willpower and all those things. So I speak very fondly of my father always, because he did his best that he could. He probably was beaten when he grew up, so that was kind of the tradition then. And not today anymore. Austria is a totally different place, politically speaking, economically speaking, and socially speaking, in every way. It is much more Americanized. And so, now when I go back there, I see a totally different Austria than when I grew up. But, sometimes those obstacles, I know that there's a lot of kids or a lot of grown-ups that run around and they say, well, this is my parents' fault. They did this to me and this is why I have this hang-up and those. I think it's a bunch of crap, because the bottom line is, I think all of this stuff, when we grow up, we develop our own brain and our own mind, and then we can go in any direction that we want to go. We don't have to kind of suffer through this leftovers. I mean, to me, I love my mother, I love my dad, and I speak fondly of them, and I appreciate what they did for me, and I always credit them for having helped me and not making me feel like I'm a self-made man, but they made me. And the rest of the people that helped me made me, and not myself.